far in this course, you've learned all about how digital courses can support teaching and learning. You've learned how to take your in-person content and break it down into modules, and then how to turn those modules into a digital format. And now we're going to bring it all together by creating your course's interactive main page. When your course is completed, the main page is what you will share with your students, and they will work from this page to complete the material of the course. In Module 3, you turned all your modules into digital content, and the main page of your course will connect your students to each of those modules. This diagram illustrates a visual representation of how a PDF digital course works. You can see the main page links each of the modules. So when we build our course's main page, we want to add our content in the order that we want our students to complete them. So now it's time to build our main page. Let's head back over to my computer and get started. To make our course's main page, we're going to work right in the same file that we created all of our modules in. When I create a main page for my courses, I like to create it as the first slide or the first page. So I'm going to click above my first module and I'm going to add a blank slide. The function of your main page is to connect the learner to each of the different modules, making sure that they go through the content in the order step by step, taking them from start to finish so that they can learn the material. So just like when we created our module pages, we can start with a text box and the title will be whatever the name of your course is, and then you can format it to be whatever you want it to be. So maybe I'll use this fun little font this time. So just like in our module pages, where we created buttons that link the learner to all the resources that they need, the course's main page is going to link the learner to all of the module pages. In this course, again, I have 1, 2, 3 modules. So that means my main page is going to need 3 buttons. So I go to Shapes, and then I'm going to go up to my alignment and I'm going to put it in the middle, both horizontally and vertically. And I'm going to type in Module 1. And again, now you know you can change colors of the buttons and do all of those fancy things. I'm going to save time and just continue to move on. Just like last time, we're going to copy and paste this button to save ourselves time from having to reformat. Now I just have to switch my numbers, 2 and 3. Okay, so we are going to connect Module 1 to the Module 1. And to do that, we're going to create hyperlinks right within our same document. So I'm going to click on Module 1. I want to link the Module 1 button to the Module 1 page, which is actually slide number 2. I can see that over here on the left. So when I go to my main page, when I click the button and go up to my link, I can start typing in the word slide, and it will begin to bring up different slides that are in this file. And I'm going to choose slide 2 because that is where module 1 is slide number 2. I'm going to do the same thing for module 2, which is actually slide number 3. So going back to my main page, I'm going to click my module 2 button and go up to my link, and I can start typing in the word slide, and I need slide number 3 for module 2. And I can do the same thing for module 3. So now if we go to our presentation mode, it brings us right to Module 1 when I click that button. However, I cannot get back to the main page from here because we haven't linked that yet, because we didn't have a main page yet. And now I'm going to go through each of my modules, 1, 2, and 3, and connect my back to main page to this page, which is slide number 1. So if I start with Module 1 and I click this button, I want to link it to slide number 1 because slide number 1 is my main page. So let's see if that worked. We'll go to presentation mode. So now if I click back to main page, it takes me right back to where I need to go, so that when the learner is all done with their activities in Module 1, they can get back to their starting point. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the same thing for Module 2 and 3. So now we have all of our modules linked to our main page. The last thing that we need to add to our main page before we can be done are the directions. Just like with each of our modules, we want to make sure that our students know what to do on the main page. Even though it's a little self-explanatory, we don't want to make assumptions. So to add directions, I'm just going to add a new text box.
Okay, so just like with our modules, you can do a quick spiff of your main page as well. You can fill in the title by going to the bucket after you select that text box, and you can just fill it with a color if you would like to. You can even give it a border so that it has some lines to it so that it stands out a little bit more. You can change all of your buttons to make them different colors just by selecting, changing the fill, and then you can change the border color or the size of the border if you'd like to, just to give it a little pop of color. But again, it's up to you really how much effort you want to put into adding the colors and all of the little fancy pants things. Really, this is it. This is your course and it is all done. But before we share this with anybody, we need to check and make sure that everything is going to work. To do that, we're going to go to the presentation mode. We're going to click through everything like we're going to complete the course, but we're really, we don't need to actually do the activities. We just need to make sure they're all accessible and working. Now, the last step is to make this into the interactive PDF. So right now, this is a Google slide, or maybe you have a PowerPoint. You're gonna turn this file into a PDF. So to do that, we're gonna go to File, into Download, and then we're gonna choose PDF document. Okay, so here it is down here, and when I click on it, it brings up my PDF. You wanna save it somewhere where you're gonna find it easily. I like to put mine on my desktop and add it to a folder of all my courses that I've done as PDF so that they are easy to find when I want to share them. Okay, and here it is right here. So when I click on that, it's going to bring up the PDF, and the PDF works exactly like when we are in presentation mode. The learner can work through and engage with the PDF in the same exact way. All of your links, if done correctly, will take the learner to all the different resources and learning and videos that you've created and embedded into that document. Now you're going to share your course the same way that you would share any other PDF file that you have. So of course you could go ahead and you could email it to the participants of your class and then just adding it as an attachment. I like to give my learners a little direction and welcome them. And so I might say something like, welcome to the course, and then to access the course that they want to click on the attachment and download the PDF, and then they can work through the document that way. And then you just go ahead and you send your email, and then the learner can get started working through your course. Also, if you upload that PDF into your Google Drive, now you have a link that takes the student directly to your course. However, because it's in Google, you need to go to these three buttons into the share, and you have to change the permissions to make sure anyone with the link can access this. If it is set to restricted, it would force the person to request access. Before you do anything, you want to make sure once it's uploaded to your drive that you are changing permissions so anyone with this link can access your digital course. Now with this link, we can do a couple of things. You can create a QR code. I like to go to qrstuff.com. It's super easy. You don't have to have an account. I'm going to copy and paste the URL up here and paste it. And I'm gonna download it, and here's my QR. Now you can either just print it like it is, or you can copy it and you can paste it to maybe like a workshop flyer or some sort of brochure, or even if you've made a course syllabus, you could just put the QR code right on the paper itself, and your students can scan the QR code with their personal device and access the course right away. Using this link, you can of course just share the hyperlink in an email, or however you want, your students to be able to access that link. You would do that the same way that you would create any other hyperlink.
That's it! That is how you can create your own digital course using a simple, interactive PDF design. Let's just do a quick recap of what we've learned in this module. The main page is the place where your students will work from to access all of your digital content. Connect your modules to the main page in the order that you want your students to follow, either from top to bottom or left to right. Provide written directions on the top of the page as a reminder for the student. You can do a quick spiff for the main page as well by changing background or font color, adding text frames or borders. At this point, you're ready to finish up your own course course. By creating your main page, I've included a checklist in this module that highlights all of the steps that we worked through to create our main page together. This should help you get started on yours as well. Now, once you've created your main page and everything is linked, you can be all done if you'd like to be done. Simple is fine and totally gets the job done. However, for those of you who are like me and like things to be a little more fancy pants, you can join me in Module 5. I have a special surprise resource that I made for you that will make it super easy to pretty up your main page and modules. And in Module 5, I will show you how to access and use that resource. Again, this part of the course is totally optional, but it will definitely help you to up-level your PDF course and make it a little more visually appealing and engaging. So come join me in Module 5 where you can grab that freebie I promised you. I hope to see you there.